Good evening, everyone. Hi, welcome to the Vibe channel this beautiful Thursday evening. I hope you guys are enjoying your evening and welcome to the show. We are on A1R Radio Network and Moonstruck TV, and I am so grateful to have you with me this evening. If you don't know who I am, you will now. My name is Angel Confetti, and I am a psychic medium and intuitive channel, which means that I can connect with loved ones that have crossed over, ascended masters, different spiritual beings that are guides for you as spirit guides, and I can bring them through to offer you messages of advice, encouragement, and support. But I'd like to talk about a very important subject tonight that I feel Spirit has been guiding me to talk about for a couple of reasons, but most importantly because I just was able to finish 2 incredible back-to-back trips over the last couple of weeks. And while that may sound all great and like, okay, she went on vacation, what's the big deal? The big deal is that it's a really big deal for me. And for some of you out there, it would be a really big deal for you if you were able to do this as well. And what I mean by that is if you are dealing with any kind of obstacles, adversity, chronic illness, financial problems, trauma, anything that you could be struggling with right now that could stand in the way of your abundance and your happiness and your joy in your life. And for me, traveling is a huge joy for me. Something I've always been in love with doing, something I've always dreamt of doing. But to share a little bit about me, I have suffered from chronic illness for the last almost 19 years of my life. And even though I grew up fairly healthy and able to live a somewhat normal life, for those last 19 years, I lived in my own personal hell. And I want to share a little bit about this with you this evening because a lot has changed for me, and I see a lot of things changing for a lot of the people that I read for lately. And I'm being told by Spirit that we really need to talk about this because so many people are desperate to redefine their life, to find the joy in their life again. They're not happy for whatever reason. They're struggling. People are suffering right now of all kinds of different things. And they really want you to know that you can create your own reality no matter how big the obstacles seem. And I am living proof of this. And my 2 trips that I just finished are proof of this. Now, first, I'd like to invite you to follow me if you're not already doing so. You can find me on Facebook under the channel, Angel Confetti, the channel. You can also find me on my website, thevibechannel.com. You can sign up to be a free member and you will receive notifications of my weekly blog. I share all kinds of insight. I post when I'm going to have free readings and all kinds of other events. But the reason this is important is because I just wrote a blog on this very topic that may be encouraging and inspiring to you or somebody that you know and love. So what I wanted to talk about is how many people are struggling out there, but especially they're struggling from chronic illness. Chronic illness, whether it be in the form of a physical illness, mental illness, or other. But a lot of people are suffering from what is called an invisible illness. You may know people that have something like fibromyalgia, chronic fatigue syndrome, even illnesses like Lyme disease and Epstein-Barr, Guillain-Barré, can look and appear perfectly healthy and normal, but the people feel like they're dying inside. Now, without going into too much of my story and taking up too much time with the backstory, I just want to share that I didn't know that I had a genetic condition until it flared with the birth of my second child. And I also then was bit by a tick and contracted Lyme disease. Well, then that flared that genetic condition and caused my body to just go into all kinds of chaos. And for almost 19 years after that, I spent 5 to 6 days a week in bed, oftentimes in a wheelchair, oftentimes needing to be carried to the restroom, needing to have help cooking and preparing meals, help grocery shopping, help cleaning my house. And I know that many of you out there can relate to this. I suffer from multiple types of chronic widespread pain throughout my entire body. And so many people are suffering from these kinds of things nowadays, and it takes so long to get diagnosed. Oftentimes, because you're not getting a diagnosis, your tests keep coming back normal. You wind up having loved ones, even those closest to you, don't know whether to believe what you're saying. They don't know whether you're telling the truth about your symptoms and the severity of them. So then you're not getting the support and guidance that you need from those that you love. You can't do the things that you used to do, that you love to do. And then the depression, the anxiety, and the other mental illnesses start to kick in and cause a downward spiral in your life. And this can be very traumatic. And then you have to learn to deal with, it's kind of like a loss. It's a grieving process to grieve the life that you once had and learn how to readapt to the new lifestyle. And it's not just these kind of illnesses, but a lot of people are suffering from traumatic illnesses that were caused from trauma. PTSD from any type of trauma can cause all kinds of problems. But the problem is a lot of these things are invisible. So not only are we suffering from the illness and all the symptoms, but then we often get bullied, not believed, criticized. If we park in a handicapped parking spot, even though I may have a hole in my heart, even though I may be able to pass out on a dime, if I look perfectly normal, I get nasty little notes left on my car saying, you don't look disabled. And then the very person that claims they're sticking up for the disabled is actually then hurting the very people they claim to be protecting, the disabled. But not all of us are completely disabled. We're just really suffering. And you know what? I'm here to tell you that that can change. Don't ever lose faith. Don't ever lose hope. And I'm going to tell you a few things that I've learned over the last few years that have helped me change and turn my life around. As soon as I started feeding and taking care of my soul, the physical and the mental began to heal. We are so used to going to the doctor, popping a few pills, trying to exercise, trying to eat right. And those are all great things. And I am not a doctor. So please, if you have a health issue, please go to the doctor. Have it checked out and do things under the supervision of a doctor. But we often tend to neglect our spirit. The very thing that is most important. This body is just a vessel. It carries our spirit. That spirit lives on beyond this physical body. But yet we tend to take better care or worry about our body than we do the spirit. And what I'm here to tell you is, once I started taking care of my spirit, I began to heal. I'd like to recommend you start seeking out, if you're struggling with things like this, start seeking out spiritual and metaphysical ways of healing. Still obey your doctor and most importantly, follow your gut instincts, because that's your intuition is going to tell you what is proper care for you. But a few of the things I wanted to share with you are, first and foremost, this is a choice. To be healthy and to be strong is a choice. And you think, well, wouldn't we always choose to be healthy and strong? Of course, but once you get sick for so long and you get beat down for so long, you tend to forget that you still have that choice. So you need to make the choice to change your life and to change your reality and to love life again, okay? But first you have to choose and say, I'm going to do this. I'm going to get better. Now, I'm not saying you're going to be cured and you're going to be 100% better. But what I'm saying is you will start to heal in a way that you'll be able to start enjoying and loving life again. You'll be able to start living your purpose. The second thing is, then you need to take action. So first you make the choice, then you take the action, okay? So how do you do that? First and foremost, you ask for help. Ask your spirit guides to help you. They are there, your guides, your angels, spirit, your loved ones that are on the other side, they're here to help you. God is here to help you, but you have to ask. If you don't ask, they will not step in because they honor your free will. And until you ask, they can't assume that you want them to step in. So ask for help, and they will be there for you. Talk to them like they're regular friends with you every day. They can hear you in your mind and out loud. Then you need to try and change your perspective and the way you look at things. Try and find gratitude in the little things. Every little step in the right direction is a victory. Every good day that you have is a victory. Praise yourself, praise God, whoever you worship, and thank them for that victory, because gratitude feeds your soul. Gratitude attracts positive energy to you and helps you. It raises your vibration, it raises your energy. Gratitude actually helps you create a positive reality and manifest everything that you've ever wanted. So putting out a positive attitude of gratitude and as much positivity as possible combined will actually help things. You'll start to see things happening for the better instead of the negative. And it's really easy to get stuck in a negative mindset when you've been in this reoccurring role every day where you just keep getting beat down and stepped on over and over again. It's so hard. You lose that positive attitude, even if you had it by nature. You got to get that perspective back. You've got to be as positive as possible and find gratitude as much as possible. Those two things are energy, and they create more of the same. So if you are being positive and putting out positive energy and gratitude, the universe will send you things to be positive about. It will send you things to be grateful for. And it really does work. Okay? So those are the things. Ask for help. First, make the choice. Then take action. Ask Spirit for help. God, whoever you worship, whatever you believe in. My personally is God and Jesus, but that may not be for you. That's okay. Whoever it is, ask them for help. Then change that perspective. Be as positive and grateful as possible. Okay, so I want to finish explaining one more thing before we move on to our first caller. But the next thing is keeping your vibration and everything as positive as possible, and then follow your spiritual path. Do things that make you happy. Find things that feed your soul and do them. Whether it's a little thing like baking, if you can, whatever it is you can do. If it's collecting things, coloring, whatever it is, no matter how small, do it. Okay, this is going to feed your soul. It's going to make you happy, and it's going to keep your energy levels up. You also need to do things to keep your vibration up, keep you positive. If you can, get out in nature, put your feet in the ground and ground your energy. All of those things, just sitting out and absorbing sunlight is going to help. Now, all this may sound crazy, and because I don't have a lot of time, I can't go into more of it right now, but I invite you to follow me, like I said, on thevibechannel.com. But I wanted to let you know that these are the things that I personally did, and I started to see healing in my life. I am not 100% cured, but I am way better than I was just a couple of years ago, and I'm happy to report that I just finished 2 trips back to back, and just a few days ago, I did a 2.6 mile hike uphill, up a mountain in the Great Smoky Mountains. And that is something I could have never done just a year ago. I couldn't have done it. I want you to know that you can do it and you have the power within you. Okay? Every one of us has the power to change our reality. Every one of us can create our reality. But I didn't realize that for 19 years. So even though I tried to stay positive and I tried to stay hopeful, it got really difficult to do so. And in doing that, I became negative and I started attracting negativity. I started attracting more negative things to myself to cause me to be more upset and depressed. But as I did the things that I explained to you, being grateful, positive, and asking spirit, feeding your soul, taking pride in the little steps. I couldn't even dance after this hike, but I was dancing in my mind because I accomplished a huge accomplishment. And within the first 5 minutes, my calves were on fire and I wanted to give up, but I didn't do it. And now I am so grateful that I have accomplished something that I never thought I'd ever get to do in my life again. And I know a lot of you are out there suffering right now. And I want you to know that in the last 2 years, my life has totally turned around. And I want to tell you real quickly that a couple of people that I know have started doing the same things in their life. They've started following their spiritual path. They've started feeding their spirit. And if you want to know more about what feeding your spirit means, I'll talk more about that on the website. So please visit it. But these women that are friends of mine have gone through some near-death experiences where they were so sick, they almost died. But when they put their faith and trust in spirit and did the things that I told you about, these women were saved and they've done miraculous turnarounds. In fact, the one was in heart failure and was recently told that she's no longer in heart failure because of making these changes in her life and trusting those and spirit to feed her and heal her. So please, I just really want to encourage you and let you know that you can do the same thing. It's going to take time. It will take work and it takes dedication, but don't give up, because together we can see each other in the finish line and we can have our victory dance together. There is never a loss of hope. There's always hope. So hang in there and know that if I can do it, you can do it. And I want to see you on one of my future trips. I hope that helps. I hope that encourages you a little bit. But I would love to go to our caller. We're only taking one caller this evening because Spirit was telling me this is such a message that so many people need to hear right now. So I would love to take this caller and wrap it up for the evening, but I really hope that you guys will join me so I can share more of this with you on the website and on my Facebook channel. Okay, so who is my caller this evening?
Hi, my name's Holly.
Hi, Holly. In Lawton?
Yes, I'm from Lawton.
Okay. Well, Holly, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for joining us. And what can I do for you this evening? Do you have a question?
I do. My oldest son passed away a few years ago, and actually today I was up where he passed away, and I honestly felt like he was with me, and just the whole way, even before I knew that I was going to end up where he passed away, I felt like he was with me. And a lot of things have been changing in my life recently, and I've just kind of been feeling him around me. Does he want to tell me something, or is he just supporting me?
Actually, first, I want to apologize because names are the only thing that I have trouble with connecting with Spirit for some reason. I don't know why. So I'm not sure if this is a guide coming through or if this is your son. I'm being told your son is present. He is with you, and he's here with us now. But I'm also hearing the name Robbie. Do you know of a Robbie that has passed?
Well, my dad's name was Robert.
Okay, because that name's coming through very strongly. And I'm hearing that your son actually has, and I'm not sure if this is in living or in past, but he has a very strong connection to Robbie. Not sure which one he went by. But I'm hearing that, yes, absolutely, your son has been with you. He's been with you since he passed. And he's telling me that actually the reason he has been making himself more known to you lately is because he knows life has been kind of topsy-turvy for you. And that while some good things are happening, it's also a little scary. And he wants to be there as a sense of support, and he wants to encourage you to let you know that regardless of all the things that are going on, and no matter what you go through change-wise, he is absolutely there to support you 100%. But most importantly, he's also experiencing it with you, right along with you.
He's also so crazy because I was talking to him today, and I was saying that to him, that he should be here with us experiencing all of this.
Yes. And he said that. He said, I want her to know I'm experiencing, and that's why he said that more importantly. I would think that the support part would be important, but I think that's why he's emphasizing that, because he knows that you feel like he's missing out. And he said, I'm not missing out on anything except for you being able to physically see me and experience me. But he's really excited that you're connecting with his energy, that you're feeling him, because he's telling me for a while he has tried to get you to know that he was with you. And he says, while you knew in your heart that he was with you, you had doubts or concerns because you weren't always feeling him. And he's saying that he's really excited that you are experiencing that, because he said he wants you to remember that feeling. Remember what it feels like to think that he's with you, because he said you're going to feel that a lot more lately, because he's learning how to raise his energy level so that you can feel him more. But he's also telling me, don't worry if you go through a day or a spell where you don't feel his energy. He's still there. He's saying, but there's times where for whatever reason your energy levels don't match up, and that's quite common. It can be really difficult for spirit to have to get their energy levels up enough that you can feel it and experience it. And certain people's energy levels can actually pull theirs down without them knowing it. I don't know if that makes sense, but like you may be having a difficult day, you may be having a lower energy day yourself, and because of that, and when he gets near you, he can't get his energy up high enough for you to feel it and experience it. And he's saying because of this, there's been times you've missed it and didn't realize he was right there, but he wants me to assure you that he is. No matter what, he is with you, and all you have to do is think of him, and he's right there. Does that make sense?
Yes, that makes sense. It definitely does. So I said, that was my dad that passed, and I've talked to him too on many occasions. My son was his first grandson, so they were close. And before my dad passed, he was still pretty young, but he was super excited. And so I'll talk to my dad and say, you better be watching out for him. So that's awesome to hear that they are together.
Yes, absolutely. They're very close. And he said, in fact, they're closer now than they could be in living, because there's no boundaries and they can do everything together now and go everywhere. It's not like he has to go to school or to work or whatever. So they're really able to be there for one another. But even more importantly, they can be there together to be there for you and for your other loved ones. And he did say he wants me to tell you he loves you. And he doesn't want you to think of it as missing him or him missing you, because he says, I didn't go anywhere. I didn't go anywhere, Mom. I'm still right here. And this is just a different type of relationship, temporarily, until you can see me again. It's not over, is how he put it. So he wants you to have faith that, he can hear you, he can see you, he feels everything, and he knows everything that you think and feel. And I can just tell his love for your dad is really cool. It's a neat relationship. He's helping me to feel that energy, and it's really cool. It's like I don't know how to describe it, because I'm a male, but I just feel like, I'm not a male, but I feel like they're almost like the generation didn't skip there. Like it's a fatherly instead of grandfatherly, and super, super close. It's really cool. And I think that is a tribute to you and your relationship that you had with both of them. Is there anything else you'd like me to ask them? Yeah.
I'm sorry?
Well, you know what? They love you very, very much, and you're very blessed to have them with you at all times. They're saying they're not your official spirit guides, but they're definitely there guiding you. Would you have anything else you'd like to ask or have me ask them before we wrap up?
Not that I can think of. I appreciate very much you putting your energy out for me. I appreciate it.
You're so welcome. And you know what? They're also telling me to encourage you that you are making the right choices on all the changes that you're going through. You're making good, sound choices, and not to fear, because they're going to be with you every step of the way.
I have had some really big life changes, and it's exciting, but it's very scary at the same time.
I'm sure. Yeah. Well, Holly, I hate to say it, but I have to wrap up. But thank you so much for joining me. And thank you for the honor of letting me read for you and your family members. They're amazing. But take care, Holly. Thank you. You're welcome. I hate to say it, but it's time for me to go already. I really need like 3 of these shows because I could talk with you forever. But I am so glad that you joined me. I love you all. I hope that you will follow me on thevibechannel.com, find me on Facebook and all the main social medias because I'd love to connect with you. You'll find out where my free readings and events are, as well as any of my paid services as well. But I just love connecting with you. Have a wonderful week until I see you again. Take care. I love you all. Love one another. Namaste. Have a good evening.